So if I go back to the very beginning, I did my nursing training in 1970, so I knew a little bit about dementia. It was called senile dementia then, and there were a lot of people I nursed that were diagnosed as having senile dementia. I guess for me the story started again when my father got diagnosed at the age of 74. Dad and I had a wonderful 6-week holiday together, and we went to Egypt and the UK and then on to the States. And he was quite forgetful on that, and he got very tired and he got very grumpy with me. In fact, he got quite agitated that I wouldn't wear my seatbelt on the aeroplane, and I told him I was old enough to make my own choices about my safety. In retrospect, he was grumpy and he was very tired. Forgetful, yes, but again, I put that down to somebody in the early 70s. I now know as I'm rapidly approaching that age, it's not normal to be as forgetful as he was at that age. When we got the diagnosis, Alzheimer's was something that I didn't know much about, so my memory was around senile dementia. I'm sure we were probably given a pamphlet by the specialist. But I did come back. I've still got all my nursing textbooks, so I went back and looked at those. I think it was before the days of Google, and if it wasn't something I regularly used. So really there wasn't a lot of information. I think one of the learnings are people, and it goes to the heart of the question you asked before, do people really understand? I don't think people do understand. And even now, my mother has subsequently been diagnosed with vascular dementia, and she's just gone into residential care. And people who visit her say, but she's fine, there's nothing wrong with her. And you can still have, with my mother anyway, quite a normal conversation. She just can't live on her own because she's not well enough. And I think until the community understands that it has different forms, and a simple conversation about how are you and what did you have for lunch, if she remembers that, but what have you done today, is very different to whether can someone live on their own. And I think family members need support. It's very easy to dismiss it and say, well, we all get forgetful as we get older. It's not that simple. I've certainly become much more aware of it in the last year, but there is a lot of information now, and there's not many weeks go by that you don't read in the newspaper as we're all ageing, the increase in dementia, not just of course in New Zealand but internationally. So I think people are much more aware. Dad was a civil engineer and his father had been a mechanic, and Dad always did his own car servicing. And I guess although it's sad, it was also, and frustrating for my mother, funny when he would continue to take things apart, whether it was the washing machine or the Electrolux, or try and sort out the television or the video, and he would put it back together, and there would always be bits left over, and he would forget, and Mum was forever getting servicemen in to fix the bits that he took apart while she was out at bridge during the day. So first of all, you don't say to someone, oh yeah, well my parents are getting a bit forgetful, because it isn't that simple. People who are diagnosed with dementia, whatever form it is, it's not the normal slight forgetfulness people get as they get older. This is a significant amount of memory loss, and there are also other symptoms that sometimes mean that people can't safely stay at home, even if there is someone at home to look after them. So I guess being understanding, listening, if it's someone you know well, making sure that they do know where to go to get support, that there are supportive things like Alzheimer's New Zealand, that they can get information from their GP, that they can talk to other people that have been through it, that there are books available. Dismissing it as, well, yeah, my husband's getting a bit forgetful, is not the most supportive thing you can do. I think the thing that you find very hard is losing the person you knew. So to see somebody go from a very intelligent, vibrant, committed family person who gave hugely to the community to somebody who didn't know who you were in such a short space of time is very tough for a family to watch.